I am Dr. Charles Apoki. I want to look at some sociological issues vis-a-vis the Nigerian political situation. This channel is for education, information, enlightenment, empowerment. The videos might be longer than usual, but you will learn. I always wonder why some people become agents that the elite use to oppress their fellow poor people. During the colonial masters, during slave trade, black people were the same people that were used against their fellow black people to capture them, sell them into slavery, to oppress them as policemen, warrant office, tax collectors, warrant chiefs, and all that. Why do people, even during apartheid, you see blacks used as agents to oppress blacks? In Syria, I was seeing fellow Muslims who killed, buried fellow Muslims, did all kinds of atrocities. There was one of them who had a lion and was said to have thrown enemies of the state at lions, to his lion to feed on. Very barbaric attitude. I saw a video online of a bulldozer that went towards the life camp in Abuja, Rita Lori Ogbebo's late husband's property. A bulldozer was going towards them, and then the people mobilized, went towards the bulldozer, video recording him, telling him he was alive. He was live on Arise TV, and the bulldozer fled. That bulldozer driver is a poor man. That bulldozer driver has no direct relationship with power in the sense that he is not powerful. He is disposable. And then they showed videos of some people who came in a bus. Some were hiding their faces in a cap, with cap. They drove off with the bus and some sped off. Those are children of poor people. If they were from very rich background, they wouldn't be doing such dirty jobs. So why do people, the police, the army, whoever that arrest people, persecute people, why would you detain people in the military detention and then the people will die without taking them to court? And then when you are detained unjustly by the same military you have served, you cry to the press. You go to Berekete TV. Now, a former military officer, colonel, his properties to be demolished, if not for the hue and cry of simple people like Very Dark Man and a lot of others. Why is it that the poor becomes an instrument in the hands of the oppressor to oppress his fellow poor people? And I tried to look at the animal kingdom. Now, there is a bird called the Egyptian plover, Plover. Some people call it the crocodile bird or the crocodile dentist. I tried to Google about the plover or Egyptian plover, and some people believe that this story is not a reality, that is just a myth, but it is instructive. The crocodile eats other creatures in the water and sometimes comes on land, and the protein materials hang in its teeth and mouth. And the Egyptian plover bird, a small bird, that lives around the banks of waters, rivers, and streams in Africa is said to go into the mouth of the crocodile and remove protein, remove flesh to prevent bacterial infection and decay of the dentition. I tried to look for videos. I saw some videos, but they look like AI. But it is instructive that the crocodile comes out to the bank of the water, opens his mouth either to receive fresh air and to aerate, but the bird goes into the mouth and picks out protein, flesh. The crocodile does not bite the plover bird. I said, okay, let me look for other ones. And I saw a series of relationships between big animals, wild animals, and some smaller animals. If you take the oxpecker, 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 the oxpecker feeds on fresh blood. And for you to feed on blood, something has to die. And so oxpeckers benefit from the death of other creatures. Oxpeckers will stand on the back of a hippo. A hippopotamus is a very wild animal. Can kill crocodiles. Hippos fight over territory in the water, and they can be very vicious. So the oxpecker also knows that hippos have a lot of pests, ticks on their body. So the oxpecker stands at the back of the hippo, the rhinoceros, the buffalo, any big wild animal, even giraffes, and then it will be picking ticks from their backs, can even enter the ear, give advice, trying to get ticks. You know, the ticks in the ears of an animal are very difficult to remove. If you have a dog and you have ticks in the ear of the dog, they are very difficult to remove, bugs. And so the oxpecker can enter the ear of the of the buffalo, of the rhinoceros, of the hippo to remove bugs and ticks. The hippo, the giraffe, the buffalo might derive relief from the duty of the oxpecker. But the oxpecker that you think is a commensal can also be the angel of death. It loves blood. And when the rhinoceros or the hippo fights and has a wound, what the oxpecker does, with its sharp beak, it will start piercing the wound, opening it up to suck fresh blood. And then infection will enter from bacteria and viruses, and then the hippo can die from the parasitic nature of the oxpecker. The oxpecker can perch on top of a buffalo, remove ticks from between the hooves and all that. That is how some people are in the society. I saw one oxpecker hailing Okpewolo, the action governor, the most active governor in the state, in the country. How many weeks has he come into power? That is an oxpecker. The oxpeckers are the ones who collect tickets and stickers, who mount roadblocks. That is their reward, so that they can keep sucking from the society, sucking from the political leadership. They are the ones who are motopark touts in Lagos, in Ibadan. Oh, at one time, the rivalry in Ibadan over motoparks, they fight. was enormous. And they are the ones who support political leadership. Those guys are Oxpeckers. When the time comes, they can go to your enemy and fight against you. They are the ones who carry guns. They are the ones who carry swords. In Lagos, it is terrible. Oxpeckers everywhere. In this dispensation, you also have Oxpeckers in churches. When you talk about the evil in denominations, the Oxpeckers, they are the ones who will come after you. They are ready to draw blood. They are ready to do all kinds of things. People like us receive such threats on a daily basis. People will call me, be careful in this country. Be careful in this country. I know there are Oxpeckers, but their lifespan is usually very short. Eventually, those animals like eagles that hunt for their own prey, that are independent of the system, outlive them. Oxpeckers are on social media. They fight any person. So corruption thrives because these big men cannot remove ticks from their bodies. They cannot remove criticism from their body. They cannot remove truths from their body. The Oxpeckers come. But they're also the ones who destroy them in the final analysis. You see them cross-carpeting from party to party. Even in the United States, they will say terrible things against Donald Trump. Then they will cross-carpet, go and visit him in Mar-a-Lago, go and donate to his inauguration. There are Oxpeckers in every society. And those who must contribute to the change in society must learn to be independent, have businesses that do not depend on government patronage, have businesses that the general populace demand for, have services that the general populace can demand for your services and pay you. Once you run after these contracts, you run after this special assistant on this, special assistant on this, director general of this, you will defend evil because you are an oxpecker for a big carnivorous animal, a big territorial animal, and they fight each other, and you derive joy from opening the wounds of these big animals. There was the case of a special assistant to Atiku. When the elections became tough, he was the one who came to reveal special purpose vehicles, or this, what are they, SP whatever, that Atiku was using according to him, allegedly. You must never forget that grammar. Allegedly. You will see people who were in Labour Party, they are all now decamping to APC. Those are Oxpeckers. They will go, eventually they will be the ones that will reveal the dark sides of the party they were in before. Oxpeckers. Beware of Egyptian plover birds and political oxpeckers. This is my message for today. And it also, the case of the oxpecker also means that you should be very careful who you trust. Very careful who you expose your wounds to. Be very careful. You see all these tapes being released, sex tapes, audio tapes, all kinds of tapes being revealed on social media. They are from Oxpeckers. I told you the story of somebody I was teaching how to do social media stuff, shared some things with him on how to improve on his life. I was in a conference and the man stood up and said all kinds of things about me. Thank God I did not let him know more than what he knows. Because even God the Father didn't tell God the Son everything. Be very careful of exposing your wounds, even In marriage, when people leave these Oxpecker marriages, they will go and say all kinds of things. People talking about the size of husband's bola, talking about all kinds of things on social media. Those are Oxpeckers. Be very careful, those who work on with you. They will say all kinds of things. There was one of them that said all kinds of things before she left our business. That my eldest son, my wife and I were looking for children we didn't get. Then we adopted my eldest son. She's back. She cried back. In my absence, my wife employed her again. I hope she's able to manage that Oxpecker. Do you have Oxpeckers around you? They have been there. Jesus had one. His name was Judas, and he was even the treasurer. Beware of Oxpeckers and those who feed in the mouth of the crocodile. They are dancing a dance of death. I remain Dr. Charles Apoki. Nigeria has a way of catching up with every person. Every person catches up with every person. Better be on the good side of God and of the people. I remain Dr. Charles Apoki. God bless you. Remember, we have properties for sale. Contact +234 80 21 21 92 62. And we have an online webinar coming up on the 10th and on the 11th of December. People register from all over the world. Send a message to +234 80 21 21 92 62. God bless you.